Welcome to another episode of Great Outdoors Garage. We're not in the great outdoors. Actually, we're inside fixing a vacuum cleaner for two reasons. One, the vacuum cleaner is broken, and the other reason is that we kind of got snowed in and our whole filming schedule got kind of messed up, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to fix this broken vacuum cleaner. Now what's happened is the drive belt is broken. And those of you that know vacuum cleaners know you got your little roller here, and this scrapes stuff up off your floor, and it's actually driven by a little belt that runs right across here, and that's just pulls the stuff right up off of your floor. And I actually really like this design. Look at how nice that rolls over. Those are some good bearings. I really appreciate a good bearing. I'm a big fan of a good bearing. But in today's video, we're gonna take this thing and see if we can fix it. We've got new belts right here, and even from the manufacturer, so that's great. We got factory parts this time. That's pretty rare. So we'll give it a try and see how it goes.
So, okay, we start digging into the vacuum cleaner here, and there's this little pin up here. That is actually the drive shaft. And it's interesting because this belt is actually smooth on the inside. It's really not what we would normally see like in the automotive world or anywhere else. But, you know, that's the important thing. Your skills cross over. Yeah, this is a vacuum cleaner, but it's still a machine, and it works just like any other machine. And by that, I mean it has to comply to the laws of physics. We're pretty much stuck with that. So there's our drive. It's a little drive pin, but I can feel it turns over, and I can feel that there's an electrical motor on that. So that's where the other end of the belt goes. This kind of looks like a sort of, well, let me get my hand out of the way. That other little pin there, yeah, we can see it now. That looks to me like kind of almost an idler, sort of basically a piece that's going to take the belt flap out, because the belt's going to naturally flap. So it needs something to kind of smooth that action down. And then it basically just comes down here and goes into the roller, and the roller just well, it really just pops in, it looks like, and then you just screw this piece on top of that and you're good to go. So this looks like it's going to be a really quick and easy repair. But you know what's not so quick is if you don't like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. You need to like, comment, and subscribe, because that makes the world a better place.
All right, so we've got our new belts, and this is the nice thing, actually. This belt comes in a 2-pack, so you get two. So this is nice, you know, like if your vacuum cleaner does break like this one did, and it's going to, you know, I mean, these belts they give you two in a pack. Isn't that nice? So, you know, thank you, Hoover, for hooking us up on this deal. But anyway, what I'm going to do is see if I can't get this belt threaded into here, and we'll kind of try to put the rest of the assembly together and see how it goes here. So you're learning with me. This is the first time I've ever worked on this particular vacuum, and yes, I am working blind here with my hand, and that's one of the major skills I would tell anybody that you have to learn, is to be able to do that. Working blind. On a car, on a machine, anything you work on, you're going to have to be able to figure out how to thread that over. But the nice thing is I've got that belt threaded on, and when I pull it like this, I can feel I'm turning that electrical motor in there. So we're good. We're engaged there. There's another little idler here I forgot to mention, which is nice, because what that's going to do is that's going to wrap this belt around this and kind of tension it. So basically, like if we thought about it, like normally your belt would just be like that around something. That other idler is pulling it down like this, so that it sort of pulls it around that other pulley and creates some tension and surface area and friction, so that it'll actually turn. So what we should be able to do, take this here, put that over there, and then that looks to be okay. Okay, so these are little square heads, so they kind of index in there. That's good, so that they don't turn. That seems like it's in there right. It might be tensioned a little loose, but when we put this piece on, I bet it brings the tension all the way up to where it should be. And we have to figure out how to index this on. And this is one of the things. I'm doing this video kind of blind. I could have gone and watched somebody else's video about how to make one of these things work, but I wanted to do this just to show you all that you can go into something new that you've never seen before and tackle a job. You know, if you look, watch, listen, you can figure out how something works. I mean, you know, these engineers that built these things, everybody thinks, you know, they're on some voodoo skill level or something. It's just not that. It doesn't work that way. You know, just because you got a degree or did this or did that doesn't mean you're any better than anybody else or any smarter than anybody else. A degree just means you went through college and passed your classes. That's really all a degree means. So with something like this, you know, it's broken anyways, right? So see if you can fix it. And if you can't fix it, well, then you scrap it. But if you can, then you get something, you know, repaired for, hell, I don't know how much we spent on these belts, but it was really just a couple of bucks. So we had a little issue assembling this thing, and that is we did not have a good Phillips screwdriver. Now, you may have seen, and I hope you did, like, comment, and subscribe on my last video where I talked about good Phillips screwdrivers versus bad Phillips screwdrivers. I was trying to put this together with just the tools that were here, and I had a bad Phillips screwdriver in my hand. This one. Now, the good thing about this one is you can change the tip out on it, so get a good quality tip, and this will be a good Phillips screwdriver. These are also nice, actually, because they make a really nice nut driver. But that's not important right now. What's important is getting this vacuum cleaner back together. So I've got a good screwdriver now. Remember our little tests for a good screwdriver, but remember that screw's also already been a little bit stripped. So hopefully these will go back in. Some of the screws were missing. Is that anybody's fault? No. This is a vacuum cleaner. It vibrates around, makes a lot of noise, and the screws are just going to come out of it. You know, I mean, it's just another one of those situations where things just vibrate apart. So anyways, with this better screwdriver and a few more screws, hopefully I can put this thing together in a minute and we'll see it run.
Okay, here we go. It's the big test. Well, I cheated. I already tested it, but it'll work. So there you are, a fixed vacuum cleaner, and we spent, I can't remember what it was less than $20 on these belts. And we get two of them. So when this one breaks, we get to put a new one in. And, you know, we can run this vacuum cleaner now for who knows how long. There is an issue with the bolts down here, or the screws, I guess I should say. A lot of these screw holes are stripped out and falling apart, and so that's an issue with a vacuum cleaner. They will vibrate themselves to death. But this can still vacuum, and the thing is, we can get creative when these screw holes all go out so much that it won't bolt together necessarily like it should from the factory. There's a lot of dirty tricks I can see that I can do here to actually put this thing back together if it falls apart. I mean, I've got a top and a bottom here to my screw hole, which means I can put a through bolt and a nut if I have to. And, you know, a lot of people might cringe a little bit at that and say that's uncouth, and it is kind of uncouth, but hey, it keeps it working. And, you know, I mean, I don't know what a new vacuum cleaner costs nowadays. I'm a dullard on that, but a couple of $100 versus $20. You know, try stuff. You know, pick up tools. You know, and it's a thing. I mean, you can make old stuff work for a long time and save a lot of money.